Here it is. This is just live and in action, man. This is really just me on a Saturday. That's what day it is. Holy shit. I took yesterday off, so my week's all kind of messed up right now. At any rate, it's a how-to video on how to do this thing. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you everybody for all the subscribers. Can't believe it. I think I'm at like 230 something, maybe even more now, 240. I'm not sure. Never even thought I was going to hit 50, let alone 200 and something now. And that's just since October, starting this channel. So thanks again, everybody. Really going to try and keep adding more and more content. I don't know, maybe if you've caught on up at to this point so far, I bought a 4K action camera, which is sitting on the end of this big automated 3-axis tracking servo mount that I'm going to use for video. With a lot cooler mount, I'm going to have a little bit more, kind of bird's eye view of some stuff going on. I'm getting some really nice low angle follow cam with this 3-angle servo mount. So at any rate, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you get some information out of it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. screw to undo for the big yoke here. And that'll come right out. Now, I'm sure you'll probably realize when you get this on this kit here, you get this part that's supposed to face down. So it was only, I mentioned earlier in the video that I had a problem getting these two screws, the original black screws that hold these two rear links on back at the axle. I could not get those through any of the link ends, but the fronts, the first one that I just checked, actually seemed to go right through after taking it out of the original link. So I am completely confused as to why that works okay on the front but not the back. Who knows what's going on there, but needless to say, I'm thankful that I won't have to eat up 2 random screws in order to get the front links put together here, so that's pretty cool. And that's that right there. So do the other side. This thing is pretty cool. I gotta say, I can't wait to get the suspension on it. guess I just hit that half-hour point of recording, so I thought the battery had exhausted, so it seems like I've got a little bit of battery life left. So what I've done is decided to shift the tray a little bit further backwards. Just to give the servo as much room as possible up front here, so that's what's currently happening. So I'm just putting screws back in. Not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, cool. And yeah, that was really the desired effect. It seems as though I've gotten even a little bit more travel out of those shocks in the front there. So that's really gonna help on certain things, coming up and over certain stuff. That's really got so much more travel now. I might relocate the back, at some point in time. But what I noticed when I was first putting them on is that I was seeing that they were hitting on the sides, so it was kind of my concern that maybe they would be best, in probably one of the lowest possible positions in the back, and let all the articulation that, and stuff that needs to happen up front. But we'll see. I'm going to run it a little bit and see how it goes. But for all it's worth, I'm very pleased with how things are going right now, so I'm going to start plugging some stuff in.
This is going to be fun. Trying to get the strap for the battery put back in. Probably should have done that some time ago, but let me go.
I wasn't sure how, this build would go, to be totally honest. I wasn't 100% positive that I'd be able to even complete it immediately, having, when I discovered that that those screws weren't really going to work in the back. I was pretty concerned that maybe this wasn't going to go as well as I had hoped. But thankfully, it has, and I'm almost complete here. So I'm just going to put some things together, keep the tape rolling. I gotta move the servo. Yeah, ESC. After a quick battery change, I'm back. I haven't done much. I wanted to stop and kind of keep going with what I was doing here. So I'm absolutely, completely psyched on this thing. I wasn't sure how I'd like it, but I really do like it a lot. I think it's awesome. I think it's going to be fun to run, and it's really going to be good for this barrage motor too. I think the both of those, the whole combination of what I've got going on here, is really going to work. So anyway, what I've done was removed the bumper from the Jeep chassis, and now I'm going to flip the bumper mounts, I think. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have lights and everything on the front. And of note too, when you pull this mount off of the front of the Rubicon, the little key nipple thing, the little part that sticks out, lines up with the second hole, and you're going to want to use the first hole for the screw going in. So that works out really well. And I'll know more in a second if this is in the way of function here. So kind of a bit of a learning curve for me as well. I just was hoping to be able to put the bumper on this because it'd be nice to have the lights. Extra little mod to this little chassis thing. Oh, nice, it does. It clears. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I really didn't know that it would clear the servo as much as what it does, and oh, look at that. That's awesome. Just even the back tabs here, I'm not even concerned about the bumper now because I know that'll go right over the top of this whole thing. What do I need to do here? Alright, little trick just for some wire management. Just kind of take and twist these together. Okay. And LEDs, got to figure out which one's power here. Probably wants to go in like this. I've got 2 more bars to put in here. Where could I put those at? Where would they be good? It's got a really rigid frame to it, so it's not as though it needs any extra stability anyplace, but it might be kind of nice to have. I was thinking about maybe mounting the spare tire someplace. I have another black stamped beadlock wheel from RC 4-wheel drive that might work out someplace well. So find a home for it. This kit was kind of pricey. It was $50 on eBay. Maybe a little less than half as much as what you pay for an SCX24 by itself, from Amazon or wherever you order them from. But I haven't done that many mods to the 2 that I have. It's just a couple of really simple ones. And once I saw this kit pop up, I immediately wanted to do something, and this just seemed to make the most sense. I think for whatever reason, it just really did. So you know, I kind of did the whole sleep on it thing for, you know, a night, and went back to the page and, you know, kept looking at it and decided that, yeah, I think it might be a really cool mod to do. So, the link is in the description. When I ordered it, there were approximately, I think there were 4 left, not approximately. There were 4 left, and I thought after I'd buy one, I'd see the quantity drop to 3 left or what have you. However, that did not take place, so it kind of makes me wonder if there might be more available in their inventory. Because I even checked a couple days later to see if that number had reflected my, you know, my purchase was reflected at all, and it still had not, you know, popped up. So, you know, folks may get lucky and see that there's still a couple left. And I do highly recommend grabbing one if you can. If you can get your hands on one, it's a fun little chassis. And I think it's really going to actually change how this thing crawls entirely. It's going to really be totally different than what it was before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how, you know, how different the performance is going to be. It's going to be kind of amazing, I think. So, just about wrapped up putting this together. Steering plug back in. Can soften up the back end. Okay, ready to run it. Let's see what it looks like. That thing is just super cool. Really like it a lot. Wow. Pretty neat. Folks, thanks for watching the video. Really appreciate it. I will post some stuff eventually of this thing doing some crawling. Stay safe out there. Stay healthy. Have fun running your RCs. And thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. Alright, just a little, I guess, update on this thing after getting a little bit of runtime in since yesterday after building it. It is awesome. I really like this thing a lot. It just takes all the SCX24 stuff that's that kind of sets them apart from any other, you know, crawler out there, and then turns it into a little, I don't even know how to say it, but this thing is just kind of unstoppable. It just, everything you put it up against, you know, it really just takes it on, and does really well with, you know, climbing, articulation, overall, how do I even want to say it, just balance. You know, one thing I did last night was order the 5mm wheel extensions off of Amazon. so those should be here sometime this week. So I will widen out the wheelbase a little bit, which, you know, is going to help, I think, even more for articulation and stuff like that. I also initially, from my first run through, I had mounted the top of the shocks on the rear most point right here. Let's grab something and just point at that a little bit better. I had mounted top of the shock to here. I don't think I was getting nearly as much articulation as I wanted, so I took it and moved it forward, mounted it to the third hole. I moved the tray back to this as far back as possible. You've got 8 choices here, so I'm at the top all the way at the back. The front shocks, I have moved one hole, I think, from initially when I first built this up. I think I was in this one, and I've moved it one forward, so that seems to kind of get a little bit more I kind of lose a little bit of articulation there, like overall travel. The shocks will stop it, but I kind of did that intentionally because I didn't want the servo to be running into this bar that's right here. So I did that. And then last night, initially when I had built this up and switched the bumpers over, I had the bumper flipped the other way and realized that if I just pushed this forward a little bit, you know, mounted it into the third hole and took a file and kind of filed away just a tiniest little bit of material, that I would have no problem with the servo running into that at all, as you can see. So that's absolutely perfect, articulates just fine, it doesn't hit anything in any way, as you can see. That's totally, it just ended up, just completely shocked me how perfectly that worked out. I just very generically zip tied a spare tire to the back, just to kind of, I don't know, give it a little bit more of a balanced appearance. It doesn't really add too much weight to the back, but I do want to put some kind of counterweight, I think, up towards the front. It still, you know, seems like it's very much weighted towards the front if you know, if you really want to get down to it. I still have plastic axles and plastic linkage on the steering. The plastic linkage on the steering is something that I may end up replacing here before too much longer, just to see if that kind of makes any difference at all. I'm not upset with how this performs in any way. I don't think it's that loose. It's not too bad. Overall, the way this thing reacts and acts compared to how it was set up as the Jeep, it's a totally different crawler now, and I really like it a lot. If I didn't mention that already, I do think this is a very cool mod, so if you can get your hands on one, definitely do so. I threw some RC four-wheel drive stickers on here because I am running the stamped steel bead locks along with the Patagonias. So let's see what else we got on here. I've got some the Milestar stickers. I grabbed the 70 decal from RC four-wheel drive as well, which it just happened to fit perfectly in this spot on the roof. There's just the right amount of space. And I was able to use the Hot Racing Link kit that I picked up maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months or so ago, that's just been sitting around, hasn't done anything because I don't have a deadbolt, and that's about the only thing that these links seem to work properly with, unless you plan on completely changing the geometry of your vehicle. And so I was able to put that to good use. So I may eventually go with axles on this and switch this entirely over to metal, but right now I'm just going to run it as it is until something tells me it needs to be, you know, changed once it breaks. So very pleased overall. Like I said, if you can get your hands on one of these kits, do so, build it up, and have a lot of fun. They're entirely different, very well dampened. I used the silver set of springs instead of the black on the shocks here, which gives it an entirely, because it is a lot heavier than the body. And there's a fair amount of weight that was involved with this just because of the, you know, the roof rack being on it. You know, but it still didn't in any way compare to how much weight was involved with using the aluminum links, and also to the, you know, the new aluminum chassis. So I felt that the silver springs would be the best, and it has turned out to be, you know, the absolute perfect choice. It's got just the exact amount of rebound that you want. There's no overly bouncy reaction to anything. Plenty of articulation, and it seems to, you know, just run really smooth. In fact, you can hit objects a little bit faster with the silver springs on there compared to the black. It doesn't seem to like to bottom out nearly as much. So I was really happy with how that turned out. A quick little thing about the lights, just the cable here, a little how-to. If you end up doing this mod and you end up, you know, if you have this hot racing bumper, run your LED lights underneath your bracket here, and then when it gets to this point, just twist them just enough so you've got enough room to be able to plug them in, but it also kind of keeps everything, you know, out of the way of the travel. And then what that does is kind of creates like this little spot where the servo just happens to sit, you know, right there whenever, you know, it's moving around. So that's just a little install kind of wire management how-to, you know, just kind of neatens things up a little bit, but also kind of gives it the purpose of keeping things out of the way. So like I said, I also had to mod where this bumper sat and kind of keep or take a file and file away some stuff, so that keeps it from hitting here. That worked out really well. What else? I think eventually I might get, you know, an aluminum skid plate for the bottom of this as well. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I'm just pretty happy with how it is in general. So I just wanted to film another quick little shout out to take two. I just wanted to film a little update on what was going on with this thing. Got it all built. Really happy with how it turned out. It runs very well. I'll include this with some run footage that I've had a chance to film yesterday and today. Just some indoor kitchen crawling stuff, you know, just some messing around. So it is a very capable crawler. I cannot wait to get this thing outside and do some stuff with it once, you know, once spring rolls around. It'll be a fun thing to take out and have some really good rock crawling fun with it. And that's about it. So thank you very much for the 124 subscribers and all of the comments, the likes, subscriptions, everything. And I think I just said that already. But anyway, thank you. I guess that means I'm probably a little nervous about it all. Having, you know, a fan base, I guess, basically at this point. But, you know, when I started this, I kind of wondered how many people I might end up getting to follow the page, and it's been awesome. You know, it seems like every day I open my email and someone new has subscribed to the channel, and that really that's awesome. And I can't thank you enough for, you know, taking the time to watch all the videos and listen to me ramble on about some, you know, random stuff. And hopefully you pick up a few tips, you know, things like that. Maybe get some ideas about some course stuff to build. Maybe some modifications like I've got going on here with this one, you know, and any of the other stuff that I've been filming. So your subscriptions tell me that you guys all appreciate that. And girls, if there are any, I haven't really checked my stats at all to see, you know, who's who and who's watching. But just everybody, thank you all for tuning in. I really do sincerely appreciate it. So at any rate, thanks for watching this one. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you on the next video. Thanks a lot.